Hola a todos. Hello everybody. In this video today, I'm going to talk about the speaking task in the exam DELE, in all the different levels. We are going to focus in this video on the Tarea 1 or Task 1 in all the DELE exam in all the levels. The Tarea 1, it is always a speech, a monologue, in which you have to explain something, a topic, from a range from 2 minutes to 6 or 7 minutes, depending on the level. So I'm going to explain Tarea 1 in levels A2, A2, B1, B1, B2, B2, C1, C1, and C2, C2. In the Tarea 1, Task 1 of the speaking part from the exam DELE A2, you will need to prepare a speech from 3 to 4 minutes in which you need to express about a topic. You will be given 2 topics. You will pick one and you will have to talk about this topic for 3 to 4 minutes. The idea is that all these topics are related to areas of immediate relevance, all in the personal sphere. For example, talk about big cities. So what you like about big cities or what you like about small cities, what you don't like of big cities or small cities, what's the culture, the means of transport, advantages or disadvantages, for example. Another topic would be the personal life, in which you have to talk about hobbies or family, your family life, or your work or your studies. As you can see, all is connected with your personal sphere, always from your point of view. There is normally a need to express frequency, the things that you normally do, in which you would be using sentences starting with yo suelo, for example, yo suelo desayunar café por las mañanas. I normally drink coffee in the morning, or normalmente tomo café. You will also need to express time. For example, trabajo de 9 de la mañana a 3 de la tarde. I work from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. I don't remember what I said. So you need to be able to express periods of time with expressions like de, a, or you need also to talk about what you do in different moments of the day. So for example, yo me ducho por la mañana, I take a shower in the morning, por la mañana, o leo un libro por la tarde, I read a book in the afternoon or in the evening. Another topic that you might be asked about could be leisure, ocio, so actividades de ocio, leisure activities. So here you can talk about lectura, reading, cinema, cine, música, music, deporte, sports. And in this topic, you can talk about how often you read books, if that's the topic you choose. So you can say, me gusta leer libros. I like reading books. And then you go on explaining what kind of books. Me gusta leer libros de ciencia ficción. Then you go on about how often you read books or when you read books. In my case would be yo leo todos los días. I read every day. And yo suelo leer por las mañanas y por las noches antes de dormir. I normally read in the mornings and in the evenings before going to sleep. task 1 o tarea 1 of the DELE B1, you also have to prepare a monologue or speech from 2 to 3 minutes about a topic that you can also choose. In this case, it is more about expressing your opinion, being able to talk about the topic and express your opinion. What do you think about this? If the topic is la juventud actual, the youth these days, you should be talking about, for example, yo pienso que los jóvenes ahora tienen más información, tienen acceso a más información. I think that youth today have access to more information. Y creo que se enfrentan a unos problemas de privacidad. So I think that they are faced to more problems about privacy, etc. So the goal here is to be able to organize your ideas and to be able to express your opinion and to communicate your message across. Also, you need to be able to justify your opinion. Why do you think this? It is very important that whenever you express an opinion about a topic, then you explain why. You would be using then expressions like porque. Creo que la juventud actual tiene acceso a más información porque existe Internet, las nuevas tecnologías y las redes sociales que proporcionan esta información de manera sencilla. Okay? As you can see, I explained that the reason why youth these days have access to more information is because there is the Internet and they have phones, are new technology, and social media that provide all that information. Yeah? So the key elements for Tarea 1 in B1, DELE, is to be able to organize your ideas, so to have an introduction, a part where you develop your ideas or your opinion, and then a conclusion in which you are going to say what you said at the beginning, just with different words. Also, because you are going to be talking about your opinion, you need to remember that you will be probably using subjunctive. But also remember that if you are using expressions like yo pienso que, yo creo que, imagino que, I guess that, supongo que, the same thing, I guess that, you will be using indicativo. Yo pienso que los jóvenes tienen acceso. I think that youth have access. But you would be using subjunctive if your sentence is negative. So, for example, yo no pienso que los jóvenes tengan más problemas. I don't think that youth have many problems. I am using subjunctive here because I am using no pienso que. And also you will need subjunctive to express opinion with expressions like es importante que los jóvenes controlen su acceso a Internet. So it's important that youth control their access to Internet, for example. Bien? So, atención a indicativo y subjuntivo. Be careful with indicative and subjunctive, because here in this task is where you will be playing with both to express your opinion and to justify your opinion. Okay? In task 1 of the speaking part in DELE 2, you will be presented with 2 topics, 2 options. You will have to pick one, and those options present a problem and 7 suggestions to fix that problem. So your job in this task is to assess those suggestions. So you need to be able to assess the suggestions and offer and talk about the advantages and disadvantages of those proposals and suggestions, and also be able to talk about, to explain the problem itself. That would be the first part, and then you go on to the different suggestions, explaining why they are a good suggestion or a bad suggestion, in your opinion. And as you can see, this is also a task in which you have to express your opinion and to be able to express advantages and disadvantages of a certain idea. So again, as I said for B1, here you will be playing mainly with indicativo and subjuntivo, and you need to be familiar with expressions to talk about your point of view. Según la propuesta número 1, according to proposal number 1, you explain the proposal and then you go on to expressing if you think it is good or bad, or if it is a good solution or not, by saying, pienso que esta propuesta no es adecuada. I don't think this proposal is adequate. ¿Por qué? Because bla bla bla. Propuesta número 2 no es conveniente, it's not fitting, it's not suitable, porque bla bla bla. O no es adecuado que bla bla bla, it's not adequate that. So there will be different structures you can initiate the explanation. I will be sharing with all of you all these structures that you can use to express opinion and to assess different suggestions that you can use, always paying attention to your indicatives and subjunctives. Also remember that for this monologue you will be talking for 6 to 7 minutes, so this is a long enough time to prove the examiner that you know the topic, that you have enough vocabulary to express your opinion and to assess those proposals and suggestions. But also remember that this level, in this level, you are not required to understand or use specific vocabulario específico. Task 1 of the speaking part in DELE C1 is a mixed. Here we are starting mixing skills. So here you need to be able to read a text, a long and complex text with a specific language, and you need to be able to prepare speech, a monologue, brief, between 3 to 5 minutes about the topic in the text. Here, the goal is to be able also to organize the ideas, introduction, how the text evolves, and then a conclusion. You need to express your opinion, but what is more important is that you are able to use specific vocabulary. Here, you need to prove that you can use the language flexibly and effectively for social, academic, and work purposes. And you will be confronted with texts that have a long extension and that have specific vocabulary. Task 1 in DELE C2, speaking part in DELE C2, is a bit of the same of C1, but in a deeper level, obviously. Remember that this is the highest level you can have, that some Spaniards don't have that speaking level. So that means that the task is you need to talk, you have to prepare a monologue between 6 to 7 minutes in which you have to understand and convey the information from 2 to 3 texts, technical texts specific, could be economics, politics, academic texts, and 1 or 2 images. That this could be graphs, outlines, humor, whatever that might be. But you need to be able to understand this specific vocabulary and then convey and transmit the message in an organized manner, you need to be able to use an adequate vocabulary that belongs to this academic and specific language, and also be able to use an adequate linguistic register. That is, you need to use formal. The example or the way I see this is you need to be able to produce a language as if you were having a formal conversation with your thesis supervisor. That is, you need to use the right words, the specific words, and also formal tone. And also you need to understand if it is required to use formal and not formal, or not formal, if it is academic, and what is the topic we are talking about. And you need to bring all that specific vocabulary. You need accuracy in your vocabulary. And this is what it is about. So it's register, so formal, not formal, academic, what the context is, and then specific, accurate vocabulary.